Hey guys, what is up? It is Bibs87 here again, and welcome to another RuneScape 3 vlog here today. In this one, I am here on my Hardcore Iron Man, although I'm just going to be disassembling stuff while I talk about the Land Out of Time things that came out. I think it was almost a week, or I think it was over a week ago at this point. And my apologies on getting this video out pretty late. I have been kind of busy recently and haven't had time to make this video. But I will also have my Hardcore Iron Man progress video out tomorrow on Sunday, as I usually try to get one out, or I do get one out every weekend, but it's either Saturday or Sunday whenever I have more time. So I'll make this video today and then the other video tomorrow. But yeah, there shouldn't be any spoilers in this video for the upcoming Hardcore episodes, but if you really want to avoid them, then just put this on in the background and don't watch it. But I will just be disassembling here, so either way there's not too much to see on the screen. I just want to have a little vlog discussion with you guys about the upcoming new stuff that was announced for the Land Out of Time. So yeah, the first thing that I guess I'll talk about is the new abilities that are coming out, and this kind of like coincides with the agility course because that's where you're going to be getting them. So first of all, there's going to be a new agility course on the island, and I really like the way that they're approaching this because they're going to be making it so that it will be the best way to get around the island, believe it or not. And like, it just sounds like a really smart idea for the implementation of an agility type thing. It's going to be the fastest way to get around the island, and you can get off of it at many different points. So you can do like a quarter of the course to get somewhere, or do half the course and get off there. And it's going to be a really long course because it's going to apparently traverse the whole island. And the course, I think they said to complete a full lap of would be 6 minutes, which is easily the longest agility course, I'm pretty sure. Although, yeah, I don't think it takes that long to do the werewolf skull ball thing. Yeah, definitely not 6 minutes. Can't be that long. But yeah, it is definitely going to be a pretty interesting thing to see how actually well implemented it is, like if it really is the best way of getting around, or if it's better to just go and, you know, surge bladed dive around the place rather than taking the agility course. We'll have to see if they actually do it properly, but I think it's a great idea. And you can also go both ways on the agility course, which is something that has never even been close to been done before. You can do an obstacle and then turn around and do that same obstacle again in the opposite direction if you want, although I'm sure that won't be like a smart thing to do for XP or for any reason really, but it is a possibility. Like, you get somewhere and you do some stuff, then you want to go back to where you were before, you can just hop back on the agility obstacles that you took there instead of having to, like, you know, go all the way around. So that's a great thing that they remembered to, you know, add in to make it not annoying. And there's going to be some apparently pretty lucrative rewards for actually doing this agility course. So in the past, agility's never really been something that's been, you know, obviously that great for rewards in terms of, you know, getting anything from it at all. I mean, the only thing you really get anything from in agility is Heffen gives you random shit sometimes, nothing ever really worth even anything at all. And I don't think, I mean, you can get some stuff from Brimhaven, but there's never really been anything that's been good or worth doing a course for just to get. And this will definitely, or most likely, be worth doing the course for, even if it is slightly less XP than Heffen. I'm not sure. It definitely has to be competitive with Heffen, I would say. Otherwise, it's going to be a lot less than I think they're hoping. But basically, they're introducing 2 more mutated abilities. And before I talk about the abilities themselves, I want to go ahead and restate my stance that I've spoke about many times before, especially when they came out with ED2 and stuff like that. I really don't like their approach to so-called new abilities in the game. They haven't released really good, like, unique new abilities probably since Reprisal with Telos. And obviously they released that scare tactics thing from the I don't remember their name exactly, but the upgraded cave horrors. There's that, but that's literally no different from Impact, except it can move your targets, which is rarely relevant. So I don't really see why they go with this approach. Like they could add cool new abilities to the game. I feel like they really are missing out on an opportunity for expanding the combat system and, you know, creating a pretty cool new rewards. I mean, Reprisal is a very niche ability, but it is useful at several high-level bosses. Like, it's useful at Telos P5. If you are usually at 1k plus, it'll be pretty good to deal a lot of damage. It's good at AOD. It can be useful at Virago for Team Split. It's very niche, but its effect is very powerful, and if used in the right situations, can deal a lot of damage. And that it's like a perfect new ability in that sense, in my opinion. Like, it doesn't really disrupt your rotations or anything, but it does add a really, really good new ability to use in very specific situations. Instead, they're going with this mutating abilities approach, and now we have, I don't even know. I know there's mutated dazing shot from what's it called? Damn, Shattered Worlds, and then there's mutated flurry, fury, and barge from ED2. And now what we're getting with this, if you haven't heard, is mutated surge and mutated escape. I'm pretty sure those are all of the current ones that are out, but I don't want to see more mutated abilities. I want more new abilities in the game, because I feel like there's a really that's missing. That's pretty much the main thing that's missing from RuneScape's combat system. Is there's not a choice of abilities too much, really. There's a very clear, this is best all the time, use it. There's no abilities that are good in some places and not good at others. Like, there's very few abilities that fall into that category, like Reprisal, and I feel like they could really expand upon the combat system if they added more new abilities like that. But that's just my opinion. I just feel like it would be a lot cooler, and I'd be more excited for this update if there was new abilities coming out with it instead of changes to old ones. But anyways, I'll now talk about the actual changes to the abilities. So the way it's going to work is you're going to do the agility course, and you're going to get pages to a codex, and once you have all the pages, you get the codex, and you can use that codex to give yourself the mutated ability. I'm not 100% sure if the pages themselves are going to be tradable. I know the codexes are, but we'll have to wait and see on that. And I'm interested to see how rare they are to get from the agility course. Like, a 6-minute lap is pretty long. So how many laps is it going to take you to get a whole codex? We'll have to wait and see on that. And also, how many pages is it going to be to make the codex? I'd say, if I were to randomly guess, I would say 10 pages. Seems like a decent little number, but that's just completely random guess. But it's basically, if you've ever played Path of Exile, and I know this is a bit of a niche thing that people might not have played, you might know about the ability Flame Dash, and it's essentially going to make your Surge and Escape have a second charge in a similar way to the way Flame Dash works in Path of Exile. Basically, if you wait, like if you use Surge right now, it has to cool down before you can use it again. But this way, if you use Surge, you'll be able to use it again right away. So you have like 2 charges of Surge, I guess is what you would say. But then when the cooldown ends, you'll only have 1 charge, and then it'll do like a second cooldown, and then you'll have the second charge back. But if you use the charge you just got back before the second one is back, the second one, I think, will still finish, cooling down it won't reset that cooldown. I'm pretty sure that's how it'll work. At least that's exactly how it works in Path of Exile, and it seems like it's going to be a pretty similar situation. Be right back 1 sec, and then I'll give my thoughts on the actual ability. All right, sorry about that. So, yeah, basically that's how the abilities are going to work, and I don't know how I feel about it too much. I mean, it's going to be nice for getting around the world, obviously, like doing clues and stuff like that, and I think it's fine for that use, but it definitely makes some things in PVM a bit more simple. Like, it'll make things a lot easier where Surge comes in useful. Like, obviously, Telos, the Gillinor uppercut attack, is going to be like twice as easy to avoid, essentially. Like, if you miss it early by 1 tick, you can just do it again, use Surge again, and be able to avoid it. At least I'm assuming that's how it works. Like, you can just Surge twice, like, consecutively, and that'll just make it a lot easier to avoid that attack. Something that comes to mind is like Virago's waterfall mechanic is going to be even more simple to avoid that, and just getting around in fights is going to be a lot easier. So that's just I don't know how I really feel about it, but we'll have to wait and see how it actually turns out in the end. But that's just one thing that I thought a couple things that I thought of that will definitely be benefiting from this new ability. And I don't know. There's not a whole lot to say on it until we know how it works or like the actual details in the future here. But it still is interesting that they're going for the agility course as the way to get this, rather than the hunter or any of the other methods that could possibly be present on the island. So we'll have to see how rare it is and the drop rate from the agility course. Other than that, the other thing that they, I think, announced this last week as well, I'm kind of forgetting what was announced last week versus in the past. I know I already talked about the Hunter and how I'm not super excited for that because of the stealth mechanics, which are generally not that great. But we'll have to wait and see. And they're also releasing several new Slayer creatures. I don't remember exactly what they said the realm of them is, but it's somewhere in the realm of like 90s to in the hundreds, I think. But don't quote me on that. You'd have to check their news for that, actual numbers. And then, so those are going to be interesting. Some of them look like they're just actual like living plants that you have to fight. So that'll be kind of cool and interesting to see. And obviously we'll have to wait and see what they drop. I know that there's been a piece of concept art out there for a blowpipe weapon. So I don't know if that's actually a thing or if that was for an NPC or what, but they showed a piece of concept art for that, and also the maul that acts like a hex hunter bow towards ranged creatures I think is going to be dropped from the Slayer monsters. And then lastly they have that ganodermic armor for ranged, which isn't going to be that useful, but it does look pretty good if you ask me. I think I kind of like the way it looks. They showed some concept art for that as well. But then there's also that new Slayer Master. I'm not sure if I talked about the new Slayer Master before, but she's going to be level 90 plus for the Slayer Master, and she's going to offer a new sort of mechanic, which is going to be categorical Slayer tasks. So you'll get dragons as a whole instead of like black dragons. So that'll be interesting to see if she's any better than Morvron for XP. They said some of the lower leveled tasks that Morvron has will be removed from her pool, so she'll likely be the new best Slayer Master to get for your XP training. But it might not be better, because if she gives you weird categorical ones that you don't want often, then it wouldn't be better. So we'll have to wait and see on that, how her rates end up shaking out. But yeah, those are the main reveals I think that I had yet to cover for the Land Out of Time. I'm looking forward to the update a lot. I'm fairly sure it's going to be launching in about a week, like a week from Monday on the 8th of July when the event ends. Just goes to assume that's when it will be launching, because the event is ending then. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I'll probably make several videos on the day of release discussing various things, and we'll have to wait and see. Maybe I can get lucky, get some pages for the codex, or get some drops from the Slayer mobs. But definitely looking forward to the release of this new island, and I hope you guys are as well. Let me know your thoughts on mutated abilities in the comments down below. I personally really hope they cut it out with those and move forward with some new abilities in the future. Thanks for checking out this video, you guys. I'll have my new Hardcore Iron Man Progress video out tomorrow as per usual. And I'll see you guys for that. Hope you're having a good weekend, and peace out.